last but not least, everybody got our football guy, James. It feels like football's been done for a while. I think it's only been like 2 weeks. But, we always got to talk football on here. We always talk defense wins championships. We built the ultimate offensive NFL team a couple weeks ago, and now James is going to have us build the ultimate defensive NFL team. Right, James?
Yeah, exactly. So the offensive team was cool, but we're trying to make a team that now stops that offense. Sounds like a pretty hard task, but I think we can do it. It'll be the same thing just like last time. It was taken very well regarded. A lot of arguments, a lot of heated debates. And we're going to try and come up with one player per position. We're going to start off with D-line today. Traden, who you got?
I mean, I don't think we're going to argue about this one, are we?
Hope not.
I think we are.
Aaron Donald, dude. Duh. I'm not even going to get into his stats because I'm sure everyone else will. Let's look at this, okay? He had his worst season by PFF Pro Football Focus rank at 93. That was his worst, and he was still the best in the NFL. I'm done. Mic drop.
Tyler, who you got?
Yeah, Aaron Donald, man. I mean, this guy's the most dynamic, fun defensive player to watch in the NFL. He's an absolute beast. On top of all the stats and all that stuff, just watching the dude train, watching the dude get at it is just so exciting to watch. So got to go with Aaron Donald.
Alex?
Aaron Donald, baby. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He gets quadrupled team, James. He's the best player in the NFL, offense or defense. Aaron Donald.
Eric?
Got to go with AD. And I'm not talking about Anthony Davis. I'm talking about Aaron Donald, everybody. We've covered him. It's got to be Aaron Donald. Right, James?
Okay. Disagree. Food for thought. I lost this one, obviously, but food for thought real fast. Did you guys see JJ Watt's tweet at all about the TJ Watt versus Aaron Donald thing?
Mm-mm.
I saw the tweet about him taking a lot of time to order DoorDash. Does that count?
Yeah.
that does count.
That was the tweet.
DoorDash that was exactly the tweet I'm talking about. But honestly, though, DoorDash is, dude, there's so many options on there.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But maybe one day. Better than freaking fresh filet or whatever Tyler uses.
HelloFresh.
Subway?
HelloFresh. There we go. Subway. Okay, anyway, rewind to the tweet. Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year, and J.J. Watt made a good argument for why T.J. Watt should have won it. T.J. played in one less game than Aaron Donald this year, but still led the NFL in every major category. Tackles, T.J. had 53, Aaron Donald had 47. Sacks, T.J. had 15, Aaron Donald had 13. Tackles for loss, 12. Hits, 41-26. Pass deflection, 7-1. And interceptions, 1-0. He led the league in sacks this year with 15. Last year, he was fourth with 14.5. TJ Watt has a higher tackling grade than Aaron Donald does per PFF. TJ Watt only has 2 missed tackles, while Aaron Donald has 9 missed tackles. And Watt technically has more stops, and a stop is defined as a tackle or an assist that constitutes a failure for the offense. TJ Watt has 45, and then Aaron Donald has 22. So just food for thought. I know Aaron Donald's a monster. He's a beast. I agree that he should be on here, but, that gap between TJ and Aaron Donald isn't as big as you might think.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
I definitely would agree with that, but I think we can all agree. We see Aaron Donald doubled and triple teamed against every offensive line in the NFL, and he still gets these stats. I mean, now if TJ Watt gets to that point, I don't know how young he is, so I'm sure that that gap is shrinking, like you say, and I don't think that's a bad take at all. But I think that we have to give some appreciation to the fact that he's facing the worst of the worst on the offensive line and still putting up these numbers too. So, but I think TJ Watt's is a very good,
huge good guy.
Huge good guy.
Huge good guy.
But see, TJ Watt, his name is not Aaron Donald, so Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is just a little bit better. But maybe he did have better stats than him this year. You just, educated me there.
What did you just say, Eric? Did you have
It was like that quote you said earlier about like the better, best, better bet thing. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Butter
so
bean.
good. Moving on to the linebacker. Tyler, who you got?
I got Devin White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this one was a tough one. There's a lot of good linebackers in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
I think you could have. I wouldn't be surprised if you all picked someone different. But kind of looking at all the stats, he seemed to be in the top 10 or so of kind of each one. So I don't think he led any particular stat this season, but he was consistently in most stats. And so I think as a whole and complete linebacker, I think Devin White for me takes the cake on this one.
Alex.
I'm going with Bobby Wagner of the Seattle Seahawks. Thank you. He has been one of the most elite linebackers in the last half decade. He's usually at the very top of tackles, in the season. He's led that Seahawks team, which that defensive team was terrible at the beginning of the season, and they really turned it around. Bobby Wagner's a beast. He flies all over the field. His football IQ is off the charts. I'm going to go Bobby Wagner.
He was a leader of that Legion of Boom team that was absolutely decimating teams back in the day. Him and Richard Sherman both. Sherman, Bobby Wagner, answer. Almost that team was insane. Eric, who you got?
I got Levante David from the Buccaneers.
For the Buccaneers.
Yeah, just because I feel like I saw him a lot in the Super Bowl, and they won, so he's pretty good.
Got big winners.
Yeah.
Trayton.
Well, I mean, Tyler, you're right. Everyone's different. I have Fred Warner. I think that he's done he's become a leader for a young 49ers defense. He was named first team All-Pro for the first time. And my biggest thing is one of my biggest things, I guess, is that he stayed healthy for 3 seasons in a row. He's played 16 games for 3 seasons in a row. You never see that. Oh, and by the way, you're playing against a team. You're playing on a team that saw some of the biggest injuries. On both sides of the ball, and he still managed to get 125 tackles, 79 solos, 2 interceptions, a sack. His age, he's young. He's had steady improvement, and he's taper as a leader. And what's also quite amazing is that Fred Warner has managed to maintain this consistency over the last 3 years, while changing a supporting cast around him. He's still able to do that, and he's still able to have that flexibility. He's able to stop the pass. He's tough enough to stop the run. I think he's my boy.
I agree with you, Trayton. I also said Fred Warner, and it's going to make me sound like a huge Niners fan. I am. I'm not going to deny that ever. But Fred Warner is one of the best linebackers this league has to offer. He was top 10 in tackles, like Trayton had mentioned, with 125, but that's not what sets him apart. The biggest thing for me was that he was the best coverage linebacker that this NFL had this season. He was top 4 in yards allowed per reception with 7.5. For a linebacker who covers multiple people in one play, that's insane. He also only allowed 71% of completion percent when he was targeted. And that's the lowest among all linebackers who have played 800 or more snaps. 800 is kind of like that cutoff where like you're a star, you play 800 snaps kind of thing. And he also only missed 10 tackles all season long. That was the second lowest among all linebackers, second only to Bobby Wagner, who had 9. So the fact of the matter is, like, Bobby Wagner is a good linebacker. He makes stops, he makes the big tackles, but he's not that good in coverage. And this league nowadays is turning to a passing league. As much as I hate to say it, I love the running game, but linebackers have to cover. They have to cover a lot. The running backs now run out to the flat, and that's their responsibility. So the fact of the matter is, the coverage linebackers are key. Did anybody switch their vote? Because right now we have Fred Warner at 2 and everybody else at 1.
I guess Fred Warner wins.
I'll
go with Fred Warner.
Yeah.
For all your info and education you just gave me on him. Guess he's pretty good.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Yeah, I really don't want to agree with you, and I don't want to change my vote, but I will, because you nailed it. I still think Bobby Wagner is a better overall player, but now what NFL defensive teams need, and that's obviously very important. So I'm gonna also change my vote to Fred Warner.
No one liked my pick.
Oh, we got a clean pit.
Sorry, bud.
Shit.
Well, me and Tyler both had Buccaneers, guys. Just different player.
Eric and I pick winners.
I think Devin White had like maybe 20 missed tackles on the season, dude. He's not consistent. Like that's your one knock.
Well, shit.
Moving on to cornerback. I did. Cornerback. Who you got, Alex?
Okay, I had a lot of trouble with this one, and I don't. You guys can tell me if this is a bad pick, but I'm going to go with Jair Alexander of the Green Bay Packers. They had kind of an, I would say, underwhelming overall defensive team, but he was an absolute monster out there. He was one of the best corners in the game in this season. He's also got a great name, so that has something to do with it as well. But I'm going with Alexander.
Eric, who you got?
I got our boy from the Rams, Jalen Ramsey.
Oh my God. Yo, Jalen Ramsey, you can't crack an NHL team over 6 months. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm still not over.
Yeah, we're talking football though, not hockey.
I'm not over that still.
He's probably better at football than he is hockey. I'm going to go with Jalen Ramsey.
Is that the only reason why?
No, ever since he did come to the Rams, they became the number one defense. So you got to give him credit where credit is due.
Do you remember when he shut down Devontae Adams? And Devontae Adams went for like
except
90
that
yards
one
on a
play
touchdown.
when he scored on him. But yeah,
you see the it was quotation marks. He did not shut him down.
he shut down DK Metcalf at least. So that that gave him.
Baby. He shut down a big baby. Congratulations, dude. The dude wears a bib and like a.
He'll learn from Devontae Adams. He'll come back stronger, better, faster next season.
Man, good thing I changed.
And he'll be on our team.
I had Jalen Ramsey at first, and then I kind of like changed like
what?
research thing. I'm with.
Who you got?
I have Jair Alexander. Is that how you say it?
Jair, yeah, correct.
He's improved year over year. He's allowed completion percentage. His allowed completion percentage dropped to just below or just above 51 from like 53 and then 65 the year before. It's clear that he was a huge part of that, moving the Packers to 7th in pass defense. And he's only managed to allow only a 67.4 passer rating when targeted. That's pretty damn good. If you're a 67 passer rating quarterback, you're probably not in this league. So that's pretty damn incredible.
Tyler.
Xavier Howard of the Miami Dolphins. The dude led the league in interceptions. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward to me.
So the one problem I have with the interception fact is that a shutdown corner doesn't get targeted because they're doing so much and they're shutting down their opponent's wide receivers so much that the quarterbacks don't even look their way. People are testing Xavier Howard because they know he can be beat. So yeah, he has the most interceptions, but the fact of the matter is the quarterback's still throwing his way. That can't be a good sign.
Well, he's clearly not being beat because he leads the league in interceptions. So,
I mean,
and how many times do people caught against him? So yeah, he caught the ball 4 times, but the opponents probably caught it like 75.
To your point, James, Alexander alone saw 30 less targets year over year. That's clearly quarterbacks are realizing that he's not getting that. You don't want to throw the ball to him.
That's where Xavier Howard will be next year, shut down corner, because he led the league in interceptions this year. So he's projected.
So until rather than fact.
But kind of like Jalen Ramsey too. Like nobody throws near him to him. He shuts everybody down.
Except Jamal Adams.
Ramsey's all talk, man. Devontae Adams. I also have Jair Alexander. The one fact I want to add here is he became a true shutdown corner in my eyes when he played in the playoff game this last year. He allowed negative yards. He allowed 4 catches for negative yards. That's huge. Offenses realized they couldn't beat him down the field and they were afraid to throw his way, so they started running screens, but he still beat that anyway because he's that smart and that good. I think Jair Alexander wins this one. It's 3-1 to 1.
3-2. 1-1, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Moving on to safety, Eric's favorite position of all time. Eric, who you got, man?
I have Buda Baker, safety from the Cardinals safety in history. But, I feel like he kind of showcased himself last year. I wish he would have scored a pick 6 on that play when DK Metcalf chased him down. But he's a guy that I saw running around all over the field last year. He seems to be I think I've said this word 3 times already this podcast, a cornerstone of that Cardinals defense.
He's most definitely a cornerstone of that defense, being paid as much as he is. Traden, who you got?
I got Minka Fitzpatrick. 2 back-to-back fantastic seasons, recorded 2 back-to-back above 50 total tackles. It's pretty damn good. He's already seen a drop in targets year over year, which indicates that QBs are refraining from sending the ball his way. We said that last segment or last player. He's managed to only allow a 65.74 passer rating when targeted. That's advanced stats, baby. I read advanced stats. That's huge. Yards allowed have continued to drop to the Steelers weren't ranked 3rd in pass.
Tyler.
Tyrann Mathieu, Kansas City Chiefs. This dude can do it all.
Except stop Tom Brady.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, that's recency bias for you. But yeah, Tyrann Mathieu, I think he's the full package. He can tackle. He can log it down. He can pick him if he needs to. He's an absolute playmaker. Tyrann Mathieu.
Alex.
Dude, Trade and I have been on the same wavelengths with these 2 segments of yours, James. I'm going Minka Fitzpatrick as well. Since he got traded from the Dolphins, he has taken his game to another level. I really don't need to say much else. Traden pretty much nailed it. But yeah, he was one of the leaders on an elite Steelers defense.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys.
Yeah, baby.
Fitzpatrick.
God,
I talked about him on our overrated underrated series. I said Minka Fitzpatrick was probably the most underrated NFL, along with Nick Chubb. But just to add to whatever you guys had said prior to that, for a safety, having more interceptions is a good thing. Mainly because safety plays in the back and have no specific responsibility. They're mostly covering a zone. So being able to go and run and find the ball and intercept the ball as a safety makes you look really good as opposed to a cornerback. On top of that, he did have 7 pass breakups, which led the league as well, which means he can get to one spot or the other. He's kind of the closest thing to Ed Reed that I've seen in a very long time. And that says a lot because Ed Reed was a damn good corner. Or not safety. Like, he's all over the place. He plays in the box. He plays the traditional safety role. He's all over the place. He's good. Huge fan of Minka Fitzpatrick. Tyler, Eric, what do you guys think?
What I have learned from this segment is that I'm horrible at assessing defensive talent in the NFL. So, yeah.
I've learned that, James, you taught me well, bud.
Yeah, dude.
I think we'll have to go. We're gonna have to go with Minka Fitzpatrick. I remember just hearing his name a lot, also on TV this year.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
I mean, look at how bad he played against the Browns. Like, I guess he did good in the season. Not too good in the playoffs, but you can't judge him off one game.
Here's the problem with defense. I think for me, as a more casual fan, is like I know offense more because of fantasy football, which you have individual players, right? And you'll learn more about their stats and kind of how those players go. But in at least ESPN fantasy, you pick a team, and it's just the team that is your defense. I would like to see a league that has individual players and you draft individual, like just like this, have 4 defensive players.
That's a thing, dude.
I think they have that.
Well, why are we doing it?
It's called IDP. Do
you
want to do it? I can change my league.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh God.
You don't want to do it.
So, like, the safety is going to be the first guy you draft.
As they get you
with
one
the number
point.
1 overall pick.
Number 1 overall pick, Minka Fitzpatrick. Then.
Yeah.
Tyler, the one thing I want to tell you is just watch more football, dude. It's not that hard. They play 3 days out of the week.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But I don't know. I guess I don't know.
But they don't have the ball in their hands. So, like, how
Yeah,
how do I
just
say
Minka
know.
that?
Fitzpatrick does because he's
just-
accepting everything.
James, next time we watch football together, I need to pick your brain on the defensive side because honestly, I feel like me watching football, unless they, make an interception or force a fumble, I don't pay attention to defense at all. So I think I need to get.
Oh, that's the beauty of the game, man.
I get that clearly, but I honestly don't know. I really that's a weakness of mine when it comes to watching sports. So next football season, we're
Gotta
still
play
For a beer question.
what?
Yeah,
A beer
just play
question.
Madden. and have
Fair
goal line
question.
defense every play. And that's how you learn about defense. Goal line defense every
definitely.
play. Guys go all out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna do this a year from now. I'm gonna be a lot better. That's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. We'll reference back.
Yeah.
Just to recap, our D line, we have Aaron Donald, linebacker is Fred Warner, cornerback is Jair Alexander, and our safety is Minka Fitzpatrick. Solid team.
Nasty defense.
I mean, I think that defense is pretty good. I think our offense would beat that defense. Maybe we could push it out to the fans. Who would win, our offense that we picked or our defense? Like, who's better? Who would you rather have? I'm going with the offense. Tyler's probably going with the offense.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Thank you once again, James, for more football talk. It's good to talk about football, even though the season isn't going right now. I bet we'll be talking about the draft whenever that comes. When does that come, actually? Do you know?
Sometime in April.
Okay, so soon.
Sometime in April.
Yeah. Stick around, everybody, for that upcoming draft. You know, you don't want to miss any picks that we could have hidden for you, dark horses, etc.